What if I told you that deep within the sands of ancient Egypt lies a tale so mysterious, it has the power to transport you to a world of gods and warriors? Welcome to our mystical journey through ancient Egypt. Tonight, we'll uncover the legendary tale of the Warriors of Anubis, a story crafted to lull you into a deep, peaceful sleep. Imagine yourself under a starlit sky as we delve into the rich history and enchanting myths that have captivated minds for millennia. This isn't just a bedtime story, it's a voyage into a world where the sands whisper secrets of bravery and magic. Stay with us until the end and let this ancient tale guide you to a restful slumber. Are you ready to embark on this enchanting journey? Let's begin. Imagine the sands of time taking you back to an era of ancient pyramids and pharaohs. Feel the warm desert breeze gently brushing against your skin, carrying with it the whispers of old gods. Visualize the golden sands stretching endlessly around you as far as the eye can see, glistening under a sky painted with 1,000 stars. Each grain of sand tells a story, each dune holds a secret waiting to be discovered. The air is filled with a sense of timelessness, as if the very essence of history is breathed into every gust of wind. Picture the towering pyramids in the distance, their majestic silhouettes casting long shadows across the desert landscape. These ancient monuments stand as silent sentinels, guarding the secrets of a bygone civilization. Close your eyes and listen closely. Can you hear it? The faint echo of distant chants, the soft murmurs of prayers to the gods of old. The warmth of the desert sun begins to fade as night descends, bringing with it a cool, soothing breeze. Now, imagine yourself walking along the ancient pathways, feeling the soft crunch of sand beneath your feet. The pyramids loom closer, and you can almost touch their massive stones, each one meticulously placed by hands long forgotten. This is a land where myth and reality intertwine, where the gods once walked among mortals, and where the stories of valor and magic come alive. Meet our hero, a brave warrior named Khepri, revered by his peers and blessed by the gods. Khepri was no ordinary man. His presence commanded respect and admiration. With eyes that glimmered with wisdom and a heart that burned with courage, he stood as a beacon of hope for his people. From a young age, Khepri showed signs of greatness, his name whispered in legends even before he could wield a sword. The gods had their eyes on him, bestowing upon him unmatched strength and agility. His skills in battle were unparalleled, his movements as fluid as the Nile itself. Khepri's bravery was not just in his combat prowess, but also in his unwavering sense of justice and honor. He was a protector, a guardian of the ancient lands, and his spirit was as indomitable as the pyramids themselves. The gods Anubis and Ra looked upon him with favor, guiding his path and infusing his armor with divine power. Every scar on his body told a story of a battle fought for the greater good, a testament to his dedication and resilience. As he walked among his fellow warriors, their eyes filled with admiration and trust, for they knew that under Khepri's leadership, they were destined for greatness. His connection to the divine was evident in the way the elements seemed to respond to his presence. The wind would calm at his command, and the stars would align to guide his path. Khepri's legacy was more than just his physical prowess. It was his unwavering belief in the righteousness of his cause and the divine destiny that awaited him. As night enveloped the desert, Khepri stood tall, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. not just as a warrior but as a chosen one, blessed by the gods and revered by all. The first sign of Khepri's divine mission came on a night as serene as the calm before a storm. The desert was bathed in the silver glow of the moon, and the stars shone with an otherworldly brilliance. As Khepri sat in quiet meditation, a chill ran down his spine. Suddenly, the air shimmered before him, and Anubis, the god of the afterlife, manifested in a radiant aura. With eyes glowing like embers and a voice that resonated with the power of the ancient gods, Anubis spoke. "Khepri, chosen guardian of Egypt, your valor and honor have not gone unnoticed. A great darkness threatens the sacred tombs. Malevolent spirits seek to defile these hallowed grounds, and only you can stop them." As Anubis' words echoed in the night, Khepri felt a surge of divine energy course through his veins. He knew this was not just a mission, but a sacred duty bestowed upon him by the gods. Anubis continued, "You must guard the tombs and protect the spirits of our ancestors. This quest will test your strength, wisdom, and your very soul." With that, Anubis placed a hand on Khepri's shoulder, and in an instant, Khepri's armor gleamed with a new celestial light, infused with the god's protective power. Determined and resolute, Khepri rose to his feet, ready to accept the task. He felt an unbreakable connection to the ancient land, as if the very sands were urging him forward. He knew that his journey would be fraught with peril, but his heart was steadfast. Walking towards the sacred tombs, his footsteps were guided by the light of the moon, which seemed to grow brighter with each step. The path ahead was unclear, but Khepri knew that with the god's favor and his unyielding spirit, he would prevail. As he approached the ancient tombs, he could sense the presence of malevolent forces lurking in the shadows. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the distant howls of the desert wind. Khepri took a deep breath, his resolve hardening. He knew that this quest was not just about protecting sacred grounds, but about preserving the legacy and honor of his ancestors. With his sword drawn and his spirit aflame, Khepri entered the tombs, ready to confront the darkness and fulfill his divine mission. The battle ahead would be fierce, but Khepri's heart was filled with an unwavering belief in the righteousness of his cause, a belief that would guide him through the trials that awaited. The sacred objects describe the magical artifacts Khepri must protect: Anubis's amulet, the Golden Scarab, and the Scroll of Maat. Among the sacred tombs, 3 artifacts held immense power and significance. The first was Anubis's amulet, a gleaming piece of jewelry that shimmered with an eerie yet comforting light. This amulet was said to hold the blessing of Anubis himself, capable of warding off any malevolent spirit and guiding lost souls to their eternal rest. Crafted from obsidian and inlaid with precious gemstones, its surface was inscribed with ancient hieroglyphs that glowed softly in the dark, offering protection and clarity to those who possessed it. Khepri knew that this amulet was not just a piece of jewelry, but a powerful talisman that connected him directly to the god of the afterlife. The second artifact was the Golden Scarab, a small but intricately designed beetle made entirely of gold. The scarab was considered a symbol of rebirth and eternal life. It was believed to harness the power of the sun god Ra, bringing light to the darkest of places and rejuvenating the spirit of the wearer. This magical scarab could heal wounds, both physical and spiritual, and was often used to guide souls through the trials of the afterlife. Khepri understood that the Golden Scarab was more than a symbol. It was a beacon of hope and renewal, a reminder of the cyclical nature of life and death. Finally, there was the Scroll of Mad, a sacred parchment that contained the laws and principles of Mad, the goddess of truth, balance, and cosmic order. The scroll was said to be written by the gods themselves, detailing the path to harmony and justice. It had the power to reveal hidden truths and bring order to chaos. The Scroll of Mad was a revered artifact that connected the mortal world with divine wisdom. Its presence ensured that the actions of the living were in alignment with the eternal laws of the universe. Khepri knew that protecting this scroll was crucial, as it was the foundation of justice and balance in their world. As Khepri stood before these sacred objects, he felt their power resonate within him. Each artifact was a piece of the divine, a link to the gods and their eternal wisdom. He knew that their protection was paramount, not just for the sake of the sacred tombs, but for the very essence of balance and order in the world. With a heart full of reverence and determination, Khepri vowed to safeguard these magical artifacts with his life, knowing that their power would guide and aid him in his divine mission. As he continued his journey through the ancient tombs, the presence of these sacred objects filled him with an unshakable resolve, illuminating his path and strengthening his spirit. Anubis's prophecy spoke of a time when the very soul of Egypt would be at stake, and the fate of the land would rest in the hands of a chosen warrior. This prophecy, whispered among priests and inscribed within the hidden chambers of temples, was a beacon of hope and a warning of impending darkness. Anubis, with his deep, foreboding voice, delivered the prophecy to Khepri under the light of a full moon. Khepri, the sands of time have foretold of a great battle that will determine the destiny of Egypt. A darkness unlike any seen before will rise, seeking to consume the land and its people. The spirits of the ancient warriors will awaken, and the very essence of Egypt will be threatened. Only a hero, blessed by the gods and steadfast of heart, can stand against this tide of evil. Anubis's eyes glowed with an intense light as he continued, "You, Khepri, are that hero. You are the chosen one who will lead the charge, the beacon of hope in these dark times. Your courage, strength, and wisdom will be tested, and the very soul of Egypt will depend on your actions. The gods have placed their faith in you, and with their blessing, you will wield the power to vanquish the darkness and restore balance to our sacred land." Khepri listened intently, feeling the weight of the prophecy settle upon his shoulders. He understood that his mission was not just to protect the sacred artifacts, but to be the guardian of Egypt's very soul. Anubis's words echoed in his mind, fortifying his resolve and igniting his spirit with a fierce determination. The god's voice softened as he offered a final blessing. "Remember, Khepri, the strength of a warrior lies not just in his might, but in his heart. Trust in your instincts, rely on the power of the sacred artifacts, and let the wisdom of the gods guide you. The path will be fraught with peril, but know that you are never alone. The spirits of those who have gone before you will stand by your side, and their courage will embolden you." As the prophecy concluded, Anubis's form began to fade, leaving Khepri with a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that the days ahead would be challenging, but the prophecy was clear. The destiny of Egypt lay in his hands, and he was determined to honor the trust the gods had placed in him. With the sacred artifacts in his possession and the blessing of Anubis, Khepri set forth, ready to confront the darkness and fulfill his divine role in the prophecy. The peaceful sands of Egypt now held a new significance, as they would soon become the battleground for the soul of the land. The second practice involves trusting in the guidance of wise companions. As Khepri ventured deeper into the tombs, the air grew colder and the shadows longer. It was then that he encountered Neith, a wise and enigmatic priestess whose knowledge of the divine was unparalleled. Draped in flowing robes that seemed to shimmer with a life of their own, Neith's presence was both calming and commanding. Her eyes, deep and knowing, held the secrets of the gods and the wisdom of ages past. With a gentle yet powerful voice she spoke, "Khepri, the gods have sent me to aid you on your quest. The path ahead is perilous and the challenges are great, but remember, you are not alone." Khepri felt a sense of relief and gratitude, knowing that the gods had provided him with a guide. Neith extended her hand, revealing a small, ancient scroll, inscribed with symbols and runes that glowed faintly in the dim light. This scroll, she explained, holds the secrets of the gods, knowledge that will illuminate your path and strengthen your resolve. Its wisdom is yours to use, but you must remember to wield it with honor and humility. As they walked together, Neith shared stories of the gods and their deeds, filling Khepri's heart with inspiration and clarity. She taught him the ancient prayers and rituals that would invoke the gods' protection and guidance. Her presence was a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness, her words a balm to his weary soul. "The gods have chosen you," Neith reminded him, "because of your strength, courage, and purity of heart. Trust in their wisdom and in the power of the sacred artifacts you guard. Together they will lead you to victory." Khepri listened intently, absorbing every piece of wisdom Neith imparted. She spoke of the importance of balance, of maintaining harmony between the earthly and the divine, and of the strength that lies in humility and compassion. Her teachings resonated deeply with him, reinforcing his resolve and fortifying his spirit. As they approached a particularly foreboding chamber, Neith's demeanor grew serious. "This is where our paths diverge, brave warrior," she said. "You must face the trials ahead with the strength and wisdom you have gained. Remember, the gods are with you, and so am I in spirit." With a final blessing, Neith placed her hand over Khepri's heart, and he felt a surge of warmth and light infuse his being. "Go forth, Khepri, with the blessings of the gods and the wisdom of ages. Your destiny awaits." With renewed vigor and a heart filled with gratitude, Khepri stepped forward into the chamber, the light of Neith's wisdom guiding his every step. He knew that the trials ahead would be daunting, but with the sacred artifacts, the blessing of the gods, and the wisdom of his mysterious guide, he was ready to face whatever darkness lay ahead. As Khepri ventured deeper into the ancient tombs, a sudden chill filled the air, accompanied by the unsettling sound of distant growls. The desert terrain around him became increasingly treacherous, with shifting sands and jagged rocks making every step a perilous endeavor. Despite the challenges, Khepri's heart remained steadfast, fueled by his unwavering resolve and the divine energy coursing through his veins. The first challenge appeared in the form of a pack of jackal-headed demons, fierce creatures with glowing red eyes and snarling maws. These demons were not merely beasts but malevolent spirits conjured from the darkest corners of the underworld. Their presence sent a shiver down Khepri's spine, yet he stood his ground, his sword gleaming under the moon's light. The leader of the pack, larger and more menacing than the rest, stepped forward, its eyes locked onto Khepri. With a guttural growl, the demon lunged, teeth bared and claws extended. Khepri's reflexes, sharpened by years of battle and the blessings of the gods, allowed him to dodge the attack with grace. He countered with a swift, powerful strike, his sword slicing through the air with precision. The demon howled in pain as the blade made contact, a testament to Khepri's skill and the divine power imbued in his weapon. The other demons, angered by their leader's injury, surged forward in a coordinated attack, their snarls echoing through the desert night. Khepri's movements were a dance of agility and strength, each swing of his sword met with the resistance of dark, ancient magic. He called upon the power of Anubis's amulet, its light flaring brilliantly and casting away the shadows that sought to consume him. The amulet's protective aura repelled the demons, forcing them to recoil from its divine radiance. Khepri knew that brute strength alone would not be enough to overcome this challenge. He focused on the wisdom and guidance he had received, remembering Neith's teachings about balance and the importance of strategy. With a deep breath, he invoked the knowledge inscribed on the scroll of Mad, seeking the divine wisdom to outmaneuver these fearsome opponents. The scroll's power illuminated his mind, revealing the demons' weaknesses and the precise moments when their defenses would falter. Armed with this newfound insight, Khepri engaged the pack with renewed vigor. His strikes were no longer just physical, they were calculated and guided by divine foresight. One by one, the demons fell, their snarls turning into defeated whimpers. The leader, now weakened and wounded, made a final, desperate attempt to strike Khepri down. Drawing upon the energy of the Golden Scarab, Khepri felt a surge of strength and clarity. The scarab's light enveloped him, healing his wounds and rejuvenating his spirit. With a powerful, decisive blow, he vanquished the leader, its form dissipating into the night air with a final, haunting cry. As the last of the demons fell, the desert fell silent once more, the only sound the gentle rustling of the wind. Khepri stood victorious, his breath coming in steady, controlled rhythms. He had faced the first challenge and emerged triumphant, his faith in the gods and his own abilities reaffirmed. With the pack of jackal-headed demons defeated, Khepri continued his journey through the treacherous desert terrain, his heart filled with unwavering determination. The sacred artifacts glowed with a soft, guiding light, leading him onward toward the next challenge that awaited. The oasis is a hidden gem amidst the arid expanse of the desert. As Khepri and Neith trudged forward, their steps weary from the trials they had faced, they stumbled upon a sight so serene, it felt like a blessing from the gods themselves. The oasis lay before them, a vibrant contrast to the harsh, golden sands that stretched endlessly around them. Tall palm trees swayed gently in the breeze, their leaves whispering secrets of tranquility and renewal. Crystal clear waters sparkled under the sunlight, reflecting the azure sky above. Lush vegetation surrounded the oasis, an array of verdant greens and blossoming flowers that infused the air with a sweet, calming fragrance. The chirping of birds and the gentle rustling of leaves created a symphony of nature, a soothing balm to their tired souls. Khepri's eyes widened with awe as he approached the water's edge. He could feel the coolness radiating from the oasis, a stark contrast to the relentless heat of the desert. Neith, with a knowing smile, gestured for him to rest. Take a moment to breathe and rejuvenate, brave warrior. The gods have blessed us with this haven to regain our strength. Khepri knelt beside the water, cupping his hands to drink. The water was pure and refreshing, revitalizing his parched throat and weary body. He felt a wave of calm wash over him, the tension in his muscles easing with each sip. Neith joined him, her presence a source of comfort and wisdom. As they rested, she shared stories of ancient warriors and the sacred oaths they took to protect their land. Her voice was a gentle melody, each word imbued with the wisdom of the gods. The oasis provided a rare moment of peace, a chance for Khepri to reflect on his journey and gather his resolve for the challenges that lay ahead. He knew that the path was fraught with danger, but this interlude was a reminder of the beauty and serenity that existed even in the harshest of environments. The golden scarab at his side seemed to hum with a renewed energy, its light brightening as if in response to the oasis's healing power. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the oasis, Khepri felt a deep sense of gratitude. He thanked the gods for this moment of respite, for the strength they had given him, and for the guidance of his wise companion. Neith's eyes met his, and she nodded in silent agreement. "Remember this place, Khepri," she said softly. "It is a reminder that even in the midst of trials, there is always a sanctuary for those who seek it with a pure heart." With their spirits rejuvenated and their bodies rested, they rose, ready to continue their divine mission. The oasis behind them now held a special place in their hearts, a symbol of hope and renewal that would guide them through the darkness. As they departed, the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, a celestial map leading them onward. Khepri's heart was filled with an unyielding determination, knowing that with Neith by his side and the gods watching over them, they would overcome any obstacle that lay ahead. The ghostly pharaoh appeared as Khepri and Neith ventured deeper into the labyrinthine tombs. The air grew colder, and a spectral mist began to coil around the ancient stone walls. Suddenly, a figure materialized before them, shimmering with an ethereal light. This was no ordinary apparition, but the spectral form of a pharaoh from ages past, draped in regal robes and adorned with a crown that glowed with an otherworldly aura. The ghostly pharaoh's eyes burned with a deep, ancient wisdom, and his voice echoed through the chamber with a resonance that seemed to come from beyond the grave. "Khepri, guardian of Egypt, and Neith, wise priestess," he began, his tone both solemn and commanding. "I am Seti, the pharaoh of old. Heed my words, for they carry the weight of countless lifetimes." Khepri and Neith stood in respectful silence, their eyes locked on the spectral figure. "A great darkness stirs," Seti continued, "one that seeks to envelop the land in shadow and despair. You have been chosen not by chance, but by destiny, to confront this evil. The gods have placed their faith in you, but you must understand that courage and strength alone will not be enough." Seti's form flickered momentarily, and his gaze turned more intense. "Beware the deceit of the dark forces. They will cloud your judgment and sow seeds of doubt within your heart. Stay true to the virtues of honor, wisdom, and unity. Only through these will you find the strength to overcome the trials that await." The ghostly pharaoh then extended a trembling hand, revealing a small, ancient relic, a fragment of the royal scepter. "This scepter piece," he explained, "is imbued with the power of my lineage. It will serve as a key to unlock the deeper secrets of the tombs and guide you towards the heart of the darkness. Guard it well, for it is both a weapon and a beacon. Neith stepped forward, her eyes filled with reverence and curiosity. "Great Pharaoh," she asked, "what lies ahead in our path?" Seti's gaze softened, and he offered a cryptic but profound insight. "The trials you face will not only test your strength but the very essence of your soul. Trust in each other and remember that the light of the gods shines brightest in the darkest of times. The spirits of the ancestors walk with you, their courage and wisdom infused in every breath you take." As Seti's form began to fade, he imparted one final cryptic warning. "Beware the serpent that lies in wait. It seeks to corrupt the pure and devour the light. Only with unwavering faith and the unity of your hearts can it be vanquished." With that, the ghostly pharaoh dissolved into the mist, leaving Khepri and Neith standing in the eerie silence of the tomb. The fragment of the scepter now rested in Khepri's hand, its weight a tangible reminder of the responsibility he bore. The encounter with Seti had left them both with a renewed sense of purpose and a deeper understanding of the perils they faced. As they continued their journey, the spectral warnings echoed in their minds, guiding their steps and fortifying their resolve. The path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty, but with the pharaoh's insights and the blessing of the gods, they felt a newfound strength to face whatever darkness lay ahead. The Temple of Anubis loomed on the horizon, its majestic form gradually revealing itself as Khepri and Neith approached. The path leading to it was lined with ancient obelisks, their surfaces intricately carved with sacred hieroglyphs that glowed softly in the dim light. Towering statues of Anubis, the jackal-headed god, stood sentinel along the entryway, their solemn gazes watching over the sacred grounds. Each statue, crafted with meticulous detail, exuded an aura of divine power and reverence. As they stepped closer, the temple's grand facade came into full view, an awe-inspiring structure of polished stone that shimmered under the desert sun. The entrance, a grand archway adorned with golden inscriptions, beckoned them forward. Khepri and Neith paused momentarily to take in the sight, their hearts filled with a profound sense of reverence and anticipation. The air around the temple was thick with an ancient presence, a palpable connection to the divine. With each step, the weight of centuries past seemed to press upon them, reminding them of the temple's sacred significance. The walls of the temple were covered in hieroglyphs and reliefs, depicting scenes of Anubis guiding souls to the afterlife, his protective gaze ensuring their safe passage. The intricate artwork, masterfully preserved, told stories of valor, devotion, and divine justice. As Khepri and Neith entered the temple, a cool, serene atmosphere enveloped them, a stark contrast to the blazing heat of the desert outside. The interior was bathed in the soft glow of torches, their flames casting flickering shadows that danced along the walls. At the center of the temple stood a colossal statue of Anubis, his form both majestic and imposing. An altar lay before him, adorned with offerings of precious gems, incense, and ancient scrolls. The scent of burning incense filled the air, creating an atmosphere of tranquility and sacredness. Neith approached the altar, her movements graceful and deliberate. She began to chant an ancient prayer, her voice resonating through the temple like a soothing melody. Khepri stood beside her, bowing his head in silent reverence. They both felt a deep connection to the divine, their spirits uplifted by the presence of Anubis. As Neith concluded her prayer, the ground beneath them trembled slightly, and a hidden passageway revealed itself beneath the statue. It was a sign that their devotion had been acknowledged, and the path to the next stage of their journey had been opened. Khepri and Neith exchanged a solemn glance, their hearts filled with a mix of awe and determination. They knew that the Temple of Anubis was not just a place of worship, but a gateway to the deeper mysteries that lay ahead. With unwavering resolve, they prepared to descend into the hidden passage, ready to face the trials that awaited them. The temple's towering statues and sacred hieroglyphs served as a constant reminder of the divine protection and wisdom that guided their path. As they ventured deeper into the heart of the temple, the presence of Anubis and the ancient gods filled them with an unshakable belief in their mission. The god Anubis appears to Khepri in a dream, offering him a blessing and a powerful weapon to aid his mission. In the silent depths of the night, as the stars shimmered like distant flames, Khepri found himself in a dream unlike any other. The surroundings melted away, replaced by an otherworldly realm bathed in ethereal light. He stood on the edge of a vast, tranquil desert that seemed to stretch into infinity. Suddenly, the sands began to shift, forming into the towering, imposing figure of Anubis. The god's eyes glowed with a fierce yet benevolent light, and his presence radiated an overwhelming sense of power and protection. Khepri, my chosen guardian, Anubis's voice echoed through the dream, resonating with the depth and authority of the ancient gods. Your courage and dedication have not gone unnoticed. The trials you face are great, but with my blessing you shall rise to meet them. Anubis extended his hand, and a divine light enveloped Khepri, filling him with a warmth that seeped into his very soul. He felt a surge of strength and clarity, a profound connection to the divine that fortified his spirit. This blessing, Anubis continued, will shield you from the shadows that seek to ensnare you. It will guide you through the darkness and illuminate the path to victory. But that is not all. With a swift, graceful motion, Anubis manifested a weapon from the sands. It was a magnificent spear, its shaft made from a shimmering metal that seemed to pulse with an inner light. The blade, intricately engraved with ancient hieroglyphs, glowed with a celestial brilliance. This is the spear of eternity, Anubis declared, forged in the fires of the gods and blessed with their power. It is a weapon of unmatched strength and precision, capable of piercing the heart of any foe, no matter how dark or formidable. Use it wisely, Khepri, for it is a gift from the divine. Khepri reached out, his hand closing around the spear's hilt. As he did, he felt a rush of energy coursing through his veins, the weapon becoming an extension of his will. The weight of it was both reassuring and empowering, a tangible symbol of the god's faith in him. Remember, Khepri, Anubis's voice softened, taking on a more paternal tone. The true strength of a warrior lies not in his weapon, but in his heart. Trust in your instincts, draw upon the wisdom and courage that reside within you, and let the spear of eternity be a beacon of your righteous path. The dream began to fade, Anubis's form dissolving into the shimmering sands. Go forth, my brave warrior, the god's final words lingered in the air. With my blessing and the might of the spear, you shall overcome any challenge and protect the soul of Egypt. Khepri awoke with a start, the dream's vivid details still fresh in his mind. He glanced to his side, and there, glowing faintly in the dim light, lay the spear of eternity. The air around it hummed with a divine presence, a reminder of the god's blessing and the sacred duty that lay ahead. With renewed determination and the celestial spear in hand, Khepri rose, ready to face whatever darkness awaited him. He knew that with Anubis's blessing and the power of the gods by his side, his mission would not fail. The tomb guardians must be outsmarted. Khepri and Neith entered a grand chamber, its walls lined with hieroglyphs depicting ancient rites and rituals. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, and the silence was palpable. As they ventured deeper, the ground beneath them shifted, revealing a series of intricate traps and puzzles designed by the ancient tomb guardians to protect the sacred artifacts. The first trial presented itself as a labyrinth of pressure plates, each one inscribed with symbols that glowed faintly. Neith studied the symbols closely, her keen intellect deciphering their meaning. These plates represent the journey of the sun god Ra through the underworld, she explained. We must step only on those that follow his path or risk triggering the deadly traps. Khepri nodded, trusting in Neith's wisdom. With careful precision, they navigated the labyrinth, their steps guided by her knowledge of the ancient symbols. Each correct step illuminated the path forward, while any misstep would have surely led to disaster. Their hearts raced with each careful movement, but Neith's guidance proved true, and they successfully crossed the labyrinth. The second trial emerged in the form of a massive stone door, adorned with intricate carvings of Anubis and Thoth. The door bore no handle, but rather a series of ancient runes and a riddle inscribed above. Only the truth shall unlock the way, and only the wise shall pass, Neith read aloud, Khepri's brow furrowed in concentration. The truth and wisdom, he mused. Neith examined the runes closely, her fingers tracing the ancient characters. This riddle speaks to the principles of truth, balance, and justice, she said. We must answer with the truth to unlock the door. After a moment of contemplation, Neith placed her hand on one of the runes and spoke the name, Mat. Instantly, the runes glowed brightly, and the massive door began to rumble and slide open, revealing the path ahead. Khepri and Neith exchanged a satisfied glance, their bond of trust and reliance on each other's strengths growing stronger with each trial. The third trial was a test of agility and nerve. The corridor ahead was lined with swinging blades and hidden darts, poised to strike any who dared to pass. The mechanisms were ancient but still functioning with deadly precision. This is a test of speed and reflexes, Khepri said, his warrior instincts kicking in. Stay close and follow my lead. With the reflexes of a seasoned warrior, Khepri led the way through the dangerous corridor. His movements were swift and fluid, each step calculated to avoid the swinging blades and dart traps. Neith followed closely, her own agility and grace allowing her to mirror his movements. The corridor seemed endless, but Khepri's unwavering focus and Neith's nimbleness saw them through unscathed. The final trial awaited them in a vast, echoing chamber. At its center stood a colossal statue of Anubis, his eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. Before the statue lay a checkerboard of tiles, each inscribed with symbols and guarded by spectral figures, the tomb guardians. These ghostly sentinels, once protectors of the pharaohs, now stood watch over the sacred chamber. This is a trial of intellect and courage, Neith whispered. We must choose the correct sequence of tiles to reach the statue, and any wrong step will awaken the guardians. Khepri looked to Neith, his trust in her unwavering. Your wisdom has guided us this far. Lead the way, and I will protect us. Neith nodded, her mind working quickly to decipher the symbols. She began to step carefully onto the tiles, each choice guided by her deep understanding of the ancient codes. With each correct step, the spectral guardians watched silently, their eyes following her every move. As Neith approached the final row of tiles, a wrong step triggered a sudden surge of energy. The tomb guardians stirred, their spectral forms gliding toward them with menacing intent. Khepri stepped forward, his spear at the ready, his eyes locked on the approaching figures. Stay focused, he called to Neith. You can do this. Neith took a deep breath, her final step bringing her to the base of the statue. With a final incantation, she placed her hand on the statue of Anubis, and the guardians halted, their forms dissipating into the air. A hidden passageway opened, revealing the path to their next destination. Khepri and Neith stood at the threshold, their hearts filled with a mix of relief and triumph. They had outsmarted the ancient tomb guardians, their combined strength, wisdom, and courage guiding them through the trials. As they stepped into the passageway, they knew that more challenges awaited them, but their bond and the blessings of the gods would see them through. Their journey through the ancient tombs was far from over, but with each trial they overcame, their resolve grew stronger. The tomb guardians had tested their every limit, but Khepri and Neith emerged victorious, their spirits unyielding and their mission ever clearer. The secret chamber discovery of a hidden chamber filled with priceless treasures and forgotten scrolls. As Khepri and Neith pressed forward, the passageway led them to a grand hall. The air was thick with the scent of ancient stone and history untold. They sensed that something significant was close. The hall's walls were adorned with carvings of mythical beasts and scenes of long-forgotten battles. Each step echoed with the weight of ages, reminding them of the countless souls who had walked these paths before them. In the center of the hall stood an imposing stone door, different from any they had seen thus far. Its surface was etched with intricate hieroglyphs that seemed to pulse with an inner light. At its base, a small indentation hinted at a hidden mechanism. Neith, ever perceptive, examined the carvings. These symbols tell the tale of a forgotten king, she murmured, a ruler who is said to possess knowledge and treasures beyond imagination. Khepri's eyes gleamed with curiosity. If this door leads to what I think it does, we might be standing before the entrance to the secret chamber. With a nod, Neith placed the fragment of the royal scepter they had received from Seti into the indentation. A low rumble ensued, and the door slowly slid open, revealing a hidden chamber beyond. The sight that greeted them was nothing short of breathtaking. The chamber was vast, its walls lined with shelves filled with scrolls and ancient tomes. Priceless artifacts glinted in the dim torchlight, their surfaces catching the glow. Gold jewels and relics of unimaginable value lay scattered, untouched by time. Among them, statues of gods and goddesses stood as silent guardians, their expressions serene yet watchful. In one corner, a throne crafted from pure gold sparkled, its seat adorned with intricate designs depicting the cosmos. Neith approached the scrolls, her fingers gently brushing over their surfaces. These scrolls contain the wisdom of ages past, she whispered, awe in her voice. Knowledge that has been lost to time, now within our grasp. Khepri marveled at the treasures, feeling the weight of their significance. "This is not just a collection of wealth," he said, "but a testament to the glory and wisdom of the ancients." As they explored the chamber, they came across a pedestal at its center, upon which rested a large, ornate chest. Its lid was adorned with carvings of protective spells, and a golden scarab was embedded at its center. Neith carefully deciphered the inscriptions on the chest. "This contains the heart of the king," she explained, "a sacred relic that is said to hold immense power and the key to the king's eternal rest." Together, they lifted the lid, revealing within a heart-shaped crystal, pulsating with a gentle, rhythmic light. The chamber seemed to resonate with its energy, a reminder of the ancient king's enduring legacy. "This heart must be protected," Khepri declared. "Its power is a vital part of Egypt's history and future." Neith nodded in agreement. "We must ensure it is safeguarded, along with the knowledge and treasures found here." They carefully sealed the chest and placed it back on the pedestal, vowing to protect its contents with their lives. The discovery of the secret chamber had not only enriched their quest, but also deepened their understanding of the ancient world they sought to protect. With reverence and determination, Khepri and Neith left the chamber, carrying with them the treasures of knowledge and relics that would aid them in the trials to come. As they stepped back into the passageway, the hidden chamber's secrets now a part of their legacy, they felt a renewed sense of purpose and an unbreakable bond with the ancient guardians of Egypt. The emergence of an army of shadows led by a dark sorcerer was an event that would test Khepri and Neith's bravery and resolve like never before. As they continued their journey through the ancient passageways, an ominous energy began to permeate the air. The once comforting glow of the artifacts they carried seemed to dim, replaced by an unsettling darkness that crept into every corner of the tombs. Then, out of the thick shadows, emerged figures that seemed to be made of pure darkness. These shadowy forms were formless and ever-shifting, their red eyes glowing with a sinister light. They moved with an eerie silence, their presence sending chills down Khepri's spine. Leading this fearsome army was a figure cloaked in darkness, his form more solid but no less menacing. This was the Dark Sorcerer, a master of dark magic and the primary antagonist of their journey. His eyes, gleaming with malice, bore into Khepri and Neith, and his voice, when he spoke, was like the hiss of a serpent. "So, the chosen guardians of Egypt dare to enter my domain," he sneered, his tone dripping with contempt. "I am Serapis, the Dark Sorcerer, and you will find that your divine artifacts and blessings hold no power here." Khepri tightened his grip on the Spear of Eternity, feeling the divine energy coursing through it. Neith, standing beside him, held the Scroll of Maat, ready to call upon its wisdom and power. They exchanged a determined glance, knowing that this battle would require all their strength and faith. Serapis raised his hands, and the shadow army surged forward, their movements swift and relentless. Khepri met them head-on, his spear slicing through the dark forms, each strike imbued with the power of Anubis. Yet for every shadow he vanquished, more seemed to take its place, their numbers endless. Neith, invoking the sacred scroll, called upon the wisdom of the gods to repel the darkness. Her incantations created bursts of light that momentarily dispersed the shadows, giving Khepri room to maneuver. But Serapis was not idle. He wove dark magic into the air, creating illusions and traps that aimed to disorient and confound them. The shadow forms shifted and merged, creating walls and barriers that sought to separate the two warriors. Khepri fought with all his might, his movements a blend of strength and agility. He knew that Serapis was the key to stopping the shadow army, but reaching him amidst the chaos was proving difficult. Neith's presence, her voice calling out ancient prayers, was a steady anchor guiding him through the confusion. "We must strike at Serapis," Neith shouted, her voice cutting through the din. "He is the source of this darkness," Khepri nodded, his resolve hardening. With a surge of energy, he broke through the wall of shadows and charged towards Serapis, his spear gleaming with divine light. The dark sorcerer snarled, raising a barrier of dark magic to block Khepri's advance. But Khepri's faith and determination were unyielding. He called upon the blessings of Anubis, channeling the divine energy into a powerful thrust that shattered the dark barrier. The spear pierced through, striking Serapis and disrupting his control over the shadow army. The dark sorcerer let out a furious cry, his form flickering and destabilizing. The shadowy figures around them began to waver, their red eyes dimming as they lost their cohesion. With one final, focused attack, Khepri drove the spear of eternity into Serapis's heart, ending his dark reign. The sorcerer's form disintegrated, and the shadow army dissolved into wisps of darkness, leaving the tombs silent once more. Khepri and Neith stood victorious, their breaths heavy but their spirits triumphant. They had faced the darkness and emerged with an even stronger bond and a deeper connection to the divine mission entrusted to them. With the dark sorcerer defeated, they knew that their journey was not yet over, but the path ahead now seemed just a bit clearer. The first step in battle preparations involves rallying other warriors to their cause. Khepri and Neith knew that their mission could not be accomplished alone. They needed to gather the strongest and most loyal fighters to stand beside them in the face of impending darkness. With determined hearts, they set out to the nearby village, a place known for its skilled warriors and brave souls. The village, nestled amidst the golden sands, had a rich history of valor and loyalty to the ancient gods. As they entered, the villagers immediately recognized the divine aura surrounding Khepri and Neith. Word quickly spread, and soon a crowd gathered, their curious eyes reflecting both hope and apprehension. Khepri stood tall, his voice carrying the weight of a leader and a chosen guardian. "Brave warriors of Egypt," he began, "a great darkness looms over our sacred land. We have been chosen by the gods to confront this evil, but we cannot do it alone. We need your strength, your courage, and your unwavering resolve to stand with us in this battle for the soul of Egypt." Murmurs of agreement and determination rippled through the crowd. A seasoned warrior named Hormheb stepped forward, his presence commanding respect. "You have our loyalty, Khepri," he declared. "We will fight alongside you to protect our land and honor the gods." With Hormheb's pledge, the morale of the villagers surged. The warriors, both seasoned and young, began to gather their weapons and armor, readying themselves for the fight ahead. Neith, with her wisdom and calming presence, addressed the gathered warriors. "In unity we find strength. Together we will form an unbreakable chain that no darkness can sever. Trust in each other, trust in the gods, and remember that our cause is just and noble." With the warriors rallied, the next step was forming strategic alliances. Khepri and Neith knew that joining forces with other tribes and factions would strengthen their chances of victory. They reached out to neighboring tribes, sending envoys to seek their support. The response was overwhelmingly positive. Messages of solidarity and allegiance poured in from various tribes, each one pledging their best warriors to the cause. Leaders from the tribes arrived, bringing with them warriors of exceptional skill and valor. Together, they formed a formidable alliance, united by their shared goal of defeating the encroaching darkness. As they gathered around a large campfire, Khepri outlined the strategy for the impending battle. He spoke of the enemy's strengths and weaknesses, the importance of protecting the sacred artifacts, and the need for coordination and discipline. The warriors listened intently, their faces reflecting a mix of determination and readiness. Neith, ever the wise guide, shared ancient battle tactics and rituals to invoke the protection and favor of the gods. She led them in a sacred prayer, her voice a soothing melody that resonated with the divine. The warriors joined in, their voices merging into a powerful chorus that echoed through the night. The camp was a hive of activity, with armor being polished, weapons sharpened, and strategies fine-tuned. Khepri and Neith moved among the warriors, offering words of encouragement and strength. They ensured that everyone understood their role and the importance of unity in the face of the upcoming battle. As dawn approached, the atmosphere was charged with a palpable sense of readiness and determination. The warriors stood as one, their hearts and minds aligned with a common purpose. Khepri and Neith felt a surge of pride and confidence, knowing that they had rallied a force capable of facing the darkest of foes. With the rising sun casting a golden glow over the assembled warriors, Khepri raised his spear, its divine light reflecting the hope and strength of their cause. "Together we will conquer the darkness," he proclaimed, his voice filled with unwavering conviction. "For Egypt, for the gods, and for the future, we will fight and we will prevail." The warriors' cheers filled the air, a resounding affirmation of their united resolve. With their preparations complete and their spirits fortified, Khepri and Neith led their formidable force towards the battlefield, ready to face the challenges that awaited them. The battle ahead would be fierce, but with unity, courage, and the blessings of the gods, they were prepared to confront and overcome the darkness. The great battle between Khepri's forces and the Shadow Army began under a sky burdened with dark, swirling clouds. As the two armies faced each other across the desert expanse, a tense silence settled over the land. Khepri stood at the forefront, his eyes locked on the horizon where shadows seemed to dance and writhe. The warriors he had rallied stood beside him, their resolve unwavering, their weapons gleaming with divine blessings. On the opposite side, the Shadow Army, led by Serapis' dark remnants and bolstered by malevolent spirits, spread like an ominous tide. Their forms flickered and shifted, barely contained within the bounds of reality. The air simmered with dark magic, making it hard to breathe. Khepri raised the spear of eternity high, its light cutting through the gloom, a beacon of hope. "For Egypt, for the gods," his voice rang out strong and clear. The warriors echoed his rallying cry, their voices merging into a powerful roar. With that, the two forces surged forward, colliding with a thunderous clash. The battlefield became a maelstrom of chaos and fury. Khepri moved like a force of nature, his spear a blur of light and precision. Every strike dispelled a shadow, sending ripples of divine energy through the enemy ranks. Neith, weaving through the melee, used the Scroll of Mad to invoke protective spells and unveil the enemy's weaknesses. her incantations were a melodic counterpoint to the symphony of battle, each word a shield against the encroaching darkness. Hormheb and other brave warriors fought with unmatched valor, their skills honed to perfection. They formed a protective phalanx around the sacred artifacts, ensuring their safety amidst the tumult. The clash of steel, the cries of warriors, and the eerie whispers of the shadows created a cacophony that resonated through the desert. Despite their ferocity, the Shadow Army began to waver under the combined force of Khepri's divine strength and the warriors' unity. Khepri pressed forward, his eyes set on the shadowy form of Serapis's lieutenant, a towering figure wreathed in darkness. With a mighty leap, he struck, the spear of eternity piercing through the lieutenant's ethereal form. The shadow let out a ghastly wail before disintegrating, its dark essence dispersing into the wind, but the battle was far from over. The shadows rallied, forming into monstrous shapes that lashed out with claws and tendrils of dark energy. Khepri's spear deflected their attacks, the divine light repelling the malevolence. Neith's spells provided much-needed relief, healing wounds and restoring strength to the weary warriors. The tide of battle shifted as Khepri's forces pushed back the shadows, their combined might and the gods' blessings driving the enemy into disarray. The warriors fought with relentless determination, each strike and parry a testament to their bravery and loyalty. Just as victory seemed within reach, the ground trembled and a chilling, otherworldly roar echoed across the battlefield. The shadows coalesced into a massive serpentine form, a monstrous amalgamation of darkness and malevolence. This was the Serpent of Shadows, the final manifestation of the dark sorcerer's power. Its eyes, twin voids of infinite darkness, locked onto Khepri, and it lunged with terrifying speed. Khepri braced himself, calling upon the gods for strength. The serpent's attack was relentless, each strike a test of his resolve. The spear of eternity glowed brighter with every parry and counterattack, its divine energy a beacon against the consuming darkness. Neith, sensing the critical moment, invoked the scroll of Mad's ultimate spell, a blinding light that enveloped the serpent and temporarily halted its onslaught. Now Khepri, she called out, her voice filled with urgency. Seizing the moment, Khepri gathered all his strength and launched a powerful, decisive strike. The spear of eternity penetrated the serpent's core, its light spreading through the dark mass like a cleansing fire. The serpent let out a final, earth-shaking roar before disintegrating into nothingness, the darkness dissipating with it. As the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded, a profound silence fell over the battlefield. Khepri's forces, though exhausted and battered, stood victorious. The Shadow Army had been vanquished, the darkness dispelled by their courage and unity. Khepri lowered the spear of eternity, its glow softening but still present, a reminder of the divine guidance that had led them to victory. Neith stepped forward, her face radiant with relief and pride. Together, they looked out over the battlefield, their hearts filled with gratitude for the warriors who had fought so bravely. "This victory is not just ours," Khepri said, his voice carrying a mixture of triumph and humility. "It belongs to all who stand here and to the gods who guided us. We have protected the soul of Egypt and honored the legacy of our ancestors." The warriors cheered, their voices a harmonious celebration of their hard-won triumph. The great battle had tested their limits, but with the blessings of the gods, the strength of their unity, and the unwavering resolve of their leaders, they had emerged victorious. The desert, now bathed in the soft light of dawn, seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, its sands whispering promises of a brighter future. As the great battle raged on, the forces of light and shadow clashed with fierce intensity under the desert sky. Despite the valiant efforts of Khepri and his warriors, the relentless tide of the Shadow Army seemed unyielding. The air was thick with the sounds of combat, the clang of weapons, and the cries of warriors. Khepri, his body battered but spirit undeterred, fought with the determination of a lion. Yet, even with the power of the Spear of Eternity and the blessings of the gods, the shadows continued to press forward, their dark energy threatening to overwhelm. It was then, in the heart of the battle's chaos, that a sudden and profound silence descended upon the battlefield. The very air seemed to hold its breath as an otherworldly presence made itself known. The ground trembled and a brilliant light pierced the gloom, radiating from the heavens. All eyes turned skyward, and there, descending with majestic grace, was Anubis, the god of the afterlife. His form was awe-inspiring, a towering figure clad in shining armor, his eyes glowing with a divine light that cut through the darkness. The shadows recoiled at his presence, their malevolent forms quivering in fear. Anubis's voice, resonant and powerful, echoed across the battlefield. Khepri, my chosen guardian and warriors of Egypt, your bravery and dedication have not gone unnoticed. The gods themselves stand with you in this moment of peril. With a sweeping gesture, Anubis unleashed a wave of divine energy that surged through the ranks of the Shadow Army. The dark forms disintegrated upon contact, their sinister essence banished by the gods' radiant power. The battlefield seemed to pulse with new life as the shadows fled before the might of Anubis. Khepri, his heart swelling with renewed hope, felt the divine energy infuse his very being. The Spear of Eternity glowed with an even greater brilliance, its power magnified by Anubis's presence. With a fierce battle cry, he led his warriors in a renewed assault, their spirits lifted by the gods' intervention. Neith, standing beside Khepri, invoked the Scroll of Maat with newfound vigor, her incantations resonating with the divine harmony of Anubis's power. The combined force of Khepri's spear and Neith's spells created a formidable barrier against the encroaching darkness. Anubis, his eyes surveying the battlefield, raised his staff, and the very sands of the desert responded to his command. A swirling vortex of sand and light surrounded the remaining forces of the Shadow Army, trapping them in a divine cyclone that eradicated their dark forms. The gods' intervention had turned the tide of the battle decisively in favor of Khepri and his warriors. The once overwhelming presence of the shadows was now reduced to mere remnants, their dark magic dispelled by the light of the gods. As the last of the shadows faded away, Anubis turned to Khepri, his gaze filled with pride and solemnity. You have fought bravely, my warrior. The darkness has been vanquished, and the soul of Egypt is safe. The gods are with you now and always. Khepri bowed deeply, his heart filled with gratitude. Thank you, great Anubis. Your intervention has saved us and ensured our victory. Anubis nodded, a serene smile gracing his features. The strength of a warrior lies not just in his might, but in his heart and the unity of his people. You have shown true valor, Khepri. The gods will always stand by those who fight for justice and honor. With that, Anubis slowly ascended back to the heavens, his divine light gradually fading but leaving behind an indelible mark of his presence. The battlefield, now calm and bathed in the golden light of dawn, stood as a testament to the bravery and unity of Khepri and his warriors. The forces of light had triumphed, and the soul of Egypt had been protected. The warriors, their faces shining with relief and pride, gathered around Khepri and Neith, their hearts filled with gratitude and respect for their leaders. The victory was not just theirs, but a shared triumph with the gods who had guided and protected them. With the darkness dispelled and the land safe, Khepri and Neith knew that their journey had reached its climactic end. The battle had tested their limits, but with the divine intervention of Anubis and the unwavering unity of their warriors, they had emerged victorious. The soul of Egypt was secure, and a new era of peace and prosperity awaited. As the dust settled and dawn began to break, a profound silence enveloped the battlefield, signaling the end of the great battle. The once tumultuous expanse of the desert now lay quiet, bathed in the soft golden light of the rising sun. Khepri stood among the remnants of the battlefield, his spear lowered but still shimmering with a faint divine glow. The warriors, though exhausted and battered, gathered around him, their faces reflecting a mixture of relief, triumph, and reverence. The victory was palpable, the forces of darkness having been thoroughly vanquished. The shadow army had dissipated, leaving behind no trace of their sinister presence. The land of Egypt, sacred and ancient, had been saved from the brink of destruction, its soul preserved through the bravery and unity of its guardians. Khepri's heart swelled with pride and gratitude as he looked at the warriors who stood by him, their spirits unbroken despite the grueling ordeal they had endured. Neath, her robes gently fluttering in the morning breeze, approached Khepri, her eyes shining with a deep sense of fulfillment. "We have succeeded, Khepri. The darkness has been defeated, and the gods have blessed our efforts," she said, her voice soft yet resonant. Khepri nodded, his expression conveying a mixture of gratitude and respect. "We could not have done it without the strength and wisdom of each warrior here, and the divine guidance of the gods. Today, we have not only defended our land, but also honored the legacy of our ancestors." The warriors began to cheer, their voices rising in a harmonious chorus that echoed across the desert. The sound carried with it a sense of renewed hope and a promise of a brighter future. Among the celebratory crowd, Hormheb stepped forward, his eyes filled with pride. "Khepri, you have led us with valor and honor. We stand here today, victorious, because of your unwavering spirit and the blessing of the gods." Amid the celebrations, Khepri and Neith took a moment to reflect on the treasures and relics they had safeguarded. The artifacts, now free from the threat of darkness, glowed with a serene light, their power intact and their significance even more profound. The heart-shaped crystal, the sacred scrolls, and the amulets were a testament to the rich history and enduring strength of Egypt. They knew that these treasures would continue to guide and protect their land in the years to come. As the sun climbed higher, its rays illuminating the majestic pyramids and the vast expanse of the desert, Khepri addressed the warriors once more. "This victory is just the beginning. We must remain vigilant and continue to honor the gods and the principles of Mad. Balanced truth and justice will guide us as we rebuild and strengthen our land." The warriors nodded in agreement, their hearts filled with a renewed sense of purpose. With the battle now behind them, Khepri and Neith knew that their journey was far from over. They had forged unbreakable bonds, not only with each other, but also with the divine forces that had guided them. the land of Egypt, now bathed in the light of a new day, held endless possibilities for growth and prosperity. As they led the warriors back toward the village, the sense of unity and determination was palpable, promising a future where the soul of Egypt would continue to thrive, protected by the courage and wisdom of its people. And so, the tale of Khepri and the Warriors of Anubis became a legend, whispered among the sands and passed down through generations. It was a tale of bravery, unity, and divine favor, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, the light of hope and the strength of the human spirit would always prevail. As night fell and the stars began to twinkle once more, the land of Egypt slept peacefully, secure in the knowledge that its guardians were ever watchful, ready to rise again should the shadows ever return. Celebrations and rewards. The victorious warriors are celebrated, and Khepri is rewarded with eternal honor and peace. As the village came into view, the air buzzed with anticipation. Word of Khepri and the warriors' triumph had spread quickly, and the villagers gathered in joyous celebration. Banners adorned with the symbols of the gods fluttered in the wind, and the aroma of a grand feast filled the air. Children ran ahead, their laughter a sweet melody that mingled with the songs of praise sung by the villagers. The atmosphere was charged with excitement and gratitude as the warriors entered the village, their faces beaming with pride. They were greeted with cheers and warm embraces, their bravery and sacrifice acknowledged by all. The elders stepped forward, their eyes filled with reverence, to offer blessings and words of praise. Khepri, walking amongst his fellow warriors, felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The battles had been grueling, but the unity and resilience of the people had led them to victory. He was approached by Hormheb, who clasped his shoulder firmly. "Today we honor you, Khepri, not just as a warrior, but as a leader who has brought hope and light to our land." The village square had been transformed into a space of festivity, adorned with flowers and lit by torches that flickered warmly. Tables laden with food and drink stretched as far as the eye could see, a testament to the villagers' gratitude. The sounds of joyful music filled the air, played by skilled musicians whose tunes inspired joyous dances. Neith, standing beside Khepri, smiled as she watched the celebrations unfold. "This is more than a victory feast, Khepri. It's a testament to the enduring spirit of our people and the blessings of the gods." As night fell, the celebrations reached their peak. The village chief called for silence, and all eyes turned toward Khepri. "We gather here to honor Khepri, the chosen guardian of Egypt, whose courage and wisdom have saved our land. His deeds will be remembered for generations, and his name will be etched into the annals of history." The villagers erupted in applause as the chief presented Khepri with a golden amulet, inscribed with the symbols of the gods and the story of his heroic journey. It was a symbol of eternal honor, a reminder of his unwavering dedication to the protection of Egypt. "Wear this with pride, Khepri, for it signifies the eternal gratitude of our people and the gods' favor upon you." Khepri accepted the amulet, his heart swelling with pride and humility. "I am honored by your words and this gift, but let us not forget that this victory belongs to all of us, to every warrior who stood by my side, and to the gods who guided us." As the night wore on, the celebrations continued under a sky filled with stars, each one a silent witness to the triumphs and tribulations faced by Khepri and his warriors. The feast was a symphony of laughter, music, and shared stories, each tale a thread in the rich tapestry of their shared legacy. Amid the revelry, Khepri found a moment of quiet reflection. He felt a profound sense of peace, knowing that the gods had blessed him with the strength and wisdom to fulfill his divine mission. The amulet around his neck was not just a symbol of honor, but a beacon of the eternal bond between him, his people, and the gods. As the first light of dawn began to break, casting a soft glow over the village, Khepri stood at the edge of the celebration. Neith joined him, her eyes reflecting the same sense of fulfillment and serenity. "The journey ahead will still have its challenges," she said softly, "but we face it with the knowledge that we are never alone. The gods watch over us, and our people stand united." Khepri nodded, a sense of calm washing over him. "We have forged an unbreakable bond, one that will endure through the ages. Our legacy is not just in our victories, but in the love, unity, and strength that bind us together." With a final look at the joyous celebration, Khepri felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. The battles had been fierce, but the rewards were eternal: honor, peace, and the unshakable bond with his people and the gods. And so, as Egypt basked in the dawn of a new day, Khepri knew that his heart was forever at peace, his soul eternally honored by the gods and the people he had sworn to protect. The tale of Khepri and the Warriors of Anubis would be told for generations, a timeless story of bravery, unity, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. The emotional farewell between Khepri and Neith, who must part ways to fulfill their destinies, takes place under the soft light of dawn. The village is quiet now, the joyous celebration having given way to a peaceful stillness. Khepri and Neith stand at the edge of the village, the horizon kissed by the first rays of the morning sun. There is a serene, almost sacred quality to the moment. Neith looks at Khepri, her eyes reflecting the depth of their shared journey and the bond they've forged. "Khepri," she begins, her voice tinged with both sorrow and resolve. "Our paths have been intertwined by the God's will, and together we have faced trials that have tested our very souls." Khepri meets her gaze, his heart heavy but filled with gratitude. "Neith, your wisdom and guidance have been a light in the darkest of times. I could not have faced the shadows without you by my side." Neith's eyes glisten with unshed tears, but she smiles, a gentle and knowing smile. "The gods have other plans for me now, Khepri. I must return to the temple to continue my service and to share the knowledge we have gained. The people need a guardian of wisdom, just as they need a guardian of strength." Khepri takes her hand, his grip firm yet tender. "Though our paths diverge, know that my heart will carry the memory of our journey and the bond we share." "You have been more than a guide, Neith. You have been a true friend." Neith nods, her voice softening with emotion. "And you, Khepri, have been a beacon of courage and honor. Your spirit will always shine brightly, guiding not just your path, but the path of all who look up to you." They stand in silence for a moment, the weight of their farewell settling between them. The desert wind gently rustles Neith's robes, and the soft cry of a distant bird fills the air. With a final heartfelt embrace, they part, each stepping toward their separate destinies. Neith turns toward the temple, her steps purposeful yet measured, her silhouette growing smaller against the vast expanse of the desert. Khepri watches her go, feeling a mixture of sadness and fulfillment. He knows that their connection, forged in the fires of battle and blessed by the gods, will endure despite the distance. As Neith disappears from view, Khepri turns back to the village, his heart filled with the strength and wisdom imparted by his loyal companion. The journey before him is clear, and the legacy they built together will continue to guide his steps. Their farewell, though bittersweet, is a testament to the enduring power of friendship, unity, and the divine destinies they each must fulfill. Reflecting on Khepri's lasting legacy, it's clear that his story is one of unparalleled bravery, unwavering faith, and profound wisdom. His journey from a revered warrior to the chosen guardian of Egypt is etched into the annals of history as a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. Khepri's legacy is not just in his victories on the battlefield, but in the values he embodied and the lessons he imparted to future generations. Through his actions, he demonstrated that true strength lies not in physical prowess alone, but in one's heart and spirit. His courage was matched by his compassion, his determination by his humility, and his strength by his wisdom. One of the most significant lessons from Khepri's journey is the power of unity. Throughout his trials, he forged unbreakable bonds with his fellow warriors, wise companions like Neith, and even the gods themselves. It was this unity, this collective resolve, that ultimately led to their triumph over the darkness. Khepri showed that by standing together, by trusting in one another and in the divine, even the greatest challenges can be overcome. Another vital lesson is the importance of honoring the past while striving for a better future. Khepri's reverence for the sacred artifacts and the ancient traditions of Egypt highlights the significance of preserving cultural heritage. At the same time, his actions paved the way for future generations to build upon that foundation, fostering a legacy of honor, justice, and balance. Khepri's journey also underscores the value of wisdom and guidance. His alliance with Neith, his adherence to the principles of Mad, and his unwavering faith in the gods show that true leadership involves seeking and heeding wise counsel. He learned that knowledge and strategy are as crucial in confronting challenges as physical might. As Khepri's tale is passed down through the generations, it serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration. His legacy is a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, the light of courage, unity, and divine guidance can lead to victory. It's a story that teaches the importance of remaining steadfast in one's beliefs, of protecting what is sacred, and of always striving to act with honor and integrity. In the hearts and minds of the people of Egypt, Khepri's legacy lives on as a symbol of the enduring power of the human spirit. His journey, his trials, and his ultimate triumph stand as a testament to the strength that lies within each of us, waiting to be awakened and guided by the light of truth and the blessings of the divine. As night falls and the stars once again illuminate the desert sky, the whispers of Khepri's story weave through the sands, a timeless tale of valor and wisdom that will forever inspire those who listen. As you drift into sleep, let the echoes of ancient Egypt and Khepri's heroic tale guide you into a serene, restful night. Imagine the warm desert breeze softly caressing your skin, the distant sound of the Nile flowing gently. Picture the majestic pyramids standing tall under a blanket of stars, as the whispers of warriors and gods fill the air with an aura of tranquility. Khepri's journey through trials and triumphs, his unwavering courage, and the divine blessings he received from Anubis are now part of the timeless sands of Egypt. As you close your eyes, let the soothing images of golden dunes and sacred relics draw you deeper into a peaceful slumber. Feel the strength and unity of the warriors who stood beside Khepri, their spirits intertwined with yours, offering protection and a sense of harmony. The sacred artifacts glowing with divine light guard your dreams, keeping the shadows at bay. Neith's wisdom and the gentle guidance of the gods ensure that your mind is at ease, your heart filled with calm. Let the timeless story of Khepri, the chosen guardian, be a lullaby that carries you to a place of rest and renewal. Breathe in deeply, the tranquility of the ancient land enveloping you, and exhale any lingering worries. Tonight, as you sleep, you are part of a legacy of bravery, honor, and divine favor. Rest well, knowing that the strength and serenity of Egypt's ancient guardians are with you. Let the peaceful rhythm of history's whispers rock you gently into the sweetest of dreams. May your night be filled with the same light and protection that guided Khepri through his journey. Sleep now, brave soul, and awaken refreshed, ready to face a new day with the courage and wisdom of a true guardian.